But I've like become very self-conscious of it because I don't know. Oh shoot, did I hit you?
Yeah.
I'm
It's
sorry.
like that felt like an attack, but I'll let it slide.
I thought it went, and I saw it go back. I was like, oh no.
You're like, And look at Benji. Benji's gonna be playing the whole time, which is nice because he's just like a.
I'm sorry. I will get distracted by the dog, but I'll keep talking.
No, but that's the good part. You know, actually, we were gonna have a Benji cam.
Oh my god, that'd be so cute.
Yeah, right. And we'll have like a little GoPro in the corner, and you just see him like coming around and like playing. But I didn't have time to set it up, so I was like,
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
Hey, comment down below if you want a Benji cam.
Yeah, if you want a Benji cam, we'll consider it.
Maybe send like some money too.
Ooh, yeah. Hey, if we have any sponsors,
you know what I'm saying?
we could, you know, and we know Shibas are very popular.
They're so They're so cute. I would hold him
Don't
up,
get
but
a
I think
Shiba.
he's too big for me to hold up.
Yeah, he's actually kind of large. I think he's a lot larger than normal Shibas, which was a bit worrisome because I was like, is he real? Like, is he like a real Shiba? Which doesn't matter, you know. Like, it's fine. Like, I'm a halfie, you know. He could be a halfie, and it's not a problem, you know. It really isn't.
We don't discriminate here.
We don't. Mm-mm. We really don't. He could be fake. He could be real. He is real.
He's the realest.
He's something like that. But what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Create Yourself podcast. Today we have none other than Yin, aka Catherine, aka Catherine.
Wow, thank you.
AKA Sanrio Stan.
Oh, you want my socks?
Yeah.
Is that what you want to
show the
see?
socks. Show the socks.
How do I show it?
Yeah, just
I think I
yeah.
should just take off. That's a free foot pic.
Like just yeah, like there we go.
Like a skirt.
Oh yeah, this is true.
There's dog hair all over my socks.
All right, well we'll show that later. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's fine.
Well, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me. Let's pretend that I gave you the thing.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. There's a thing that I was supposed to be given, and
I forgot.
We can show that later. Honestly,
Yeah,
we can bring the camera. We can show it later.
Yeah.
And, like a little off the scenes,
I'm,
like BTS.
repositioning.
Yeah. It's supposed to be ergonomic chair, so hopefully it's comfortable.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I named it short. I just like sitting on my feet.
Oh, you know, I'd be doing that. I'd be sitting like on one leg, like kind of like a figure four type beat.
But my knees are really bad, so it doesn't it doesn't help at all.
So it's bad for you.
Everything just doesn't work for me, but it's okay.
Have you seen? There's like these chairs that like you can like sit on your knees, and it like.
Yes.
It's like interesting. But
I don't know if I would use it because my knees are bad.
Yeah, you know, as I said that, I was like, it actually
like,
seems like that would be worse for your knees.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's really whatever. There's a bunch of different ways to sit.
There's a design for it somewhere.
Yeah. What is the best way to sit for somebody who has bad knees? I think that's a great question.
I hope people in the comments leave that down below because I don't even know.
Because if you know a way to sit, if you have bad knees, that is valuable information.
It really
right there.
is. I went to the doctor for my knees and they were like, it's normal. I was like, I don't think this is normal.
They said it's normal.
They said it was normal for growing girls to have knee pain.
You're like, but what if I haven't been
Literally,
growing?
I haven't been growing for the past like 10 years. And they were like, it's normal. Like every girl goes through. And I was like, that's a lie. I know that that's a lie. I have no sisters, but I know that's a lie. Okay.
I've asked friends. They have great knees.
They do. They do the same things as me. Great knees.
See?
I just have bad knees.
So what are these doctors really doing? Do they really know what they're talking about?
Maybe
I'm not trying to add any doctors, but I would really love to know if there's a doctor that's watching this. Can you please comment down below? Is it normal for growing girls and or girls that are done growing? At what point, say if the girl is done growing and she still has knee pains, then do you retract your statement? All right, next segment.
I don't know how we got here. I was like thinking about like I got introduced and then we went to knees. The Create Yourself podcast.
This is how we do it. This is we work our way from the knees up. That's really what happens,
Not
right?
from the feet.
You start.
From your knees
Oh no,
up.
we actually started from the feet.
Oh my God,
we started from the feet.
Okay, well now we're moving up to my
To the head. All right. So now, Ian, tell us what do you do?
I am currently a social media content creator for a beauty deals company. I feel like that gave away half of it, but I don't want to say the name for privacy reasons for me personally.
Smart.
But yeah, that's what I do, and it's been a fun time. I basically like make videos for their TikTok that sometimes goes to their Instagram.
Have you ever made a video that went viral?
Describe viral.
Yeah, that's a good question.
You
What
know?
would be? I mean, what is the, I guess, metrics that they look for, or do they look for metrics, or they're more so like we need content for our brand, and you're in charge of creating that content and putting it out?
Yeah, I'm more of the second half of it because the first thing like my boss told me, she was like, "Don't worry about the numbers. Like we're just trying to get our stuff out there."
Smart.
Because for us, we genuinely just want to like show people beauty deals, you know? And like it's hard because some people won't be as receptive to certain things, which is fine because we're such like a vast
Right.
topic, I guess. But yeah, I'm more of the latter, and like so I don't really look at metrics that much. But I mean, there was a video that got like 10K views upwards. On Instagram, they do really well. On TikTok, it's like
It's like hit or miss.
yeah,
I've seen that too. Like TikTok seems to be harder for consistent. I feel like it really rewards personality, and Instagram is really good for like the marketing portion of it. This chair is gonna give you problems
this chair.
the whole time.
I was just gonna sit back, but I was trying to just find a comfortable position.
Yeah. Find a like what is the most comfortable position that you can find in that chair?
It's again on my knee, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Anyways,
It
as
needs
you
to
were
be okay.
saying.
Oh yeah. So TikTok is like more for like personality, and then Instagram seems more for like business type stuff.
Yeah. I think TikTok, what I've heard is that like TikTok lately has become more of a platform that's looking for story times, which is why like
Right.
people have been going viral because they're doing like get ready with me while I do a story time or I'm running late, blah 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 and all that stuff. It's a very interesting platform.
Yeah.
But Instagram is like yeah, I think Instagram because it's been such like a consistent number of people who interact with our content,
Yeah.
then it kind of pushes it out more because they know that we post more consistently. Since on TikTok, we kind of took like a break for a little bit. Yeah. And then Instagram was more like popping.
Right.
You know?
So, like, how consistent do you need to be? Like, in your opinion, if you had it your way, like, how consistent would you need to be to build like a really good following, or for it to be like lucrative to even do that?
Yeah, I've heard a lot of different things. So some people say like, oh, post 3 to 5 times a day, which is like insane.
Yeah.
Like what? Like there's a lot of different content you can make 3 to 5 times a day, but
Yeah.
like that's burnout. Also, if you have a job,
Right.
and if you're doing other things, like it's hard to do 3 to 5 times a day. I think maybe like 3 times a week to like show that on TikTok you're actually starting to be like consistent and stuff.
Right.
And I've like tried to do things on the side to like experiment with different stuff. So I've been consistently posting on a different TikTok for like a month for 3 times a week. And then there was like, oh, make your account into a business account. And I don't know what that means,
I've heard about that too.
but I'm going to like look into it later more about it. And I'm like, because I know that there's some things where people are like, don't do it. Like,
Right.
don't join it because it just doesn't work out that way.
Right.
So yeah,
Because I feel like
say,
it might
3 times a week.
might funnel you into a certain sector that maybe would almost like hold you back
Exactly.
in some ways.
Yeah. And like I think I've heard that after people joined it, like their views went down. Like they weren't being
Really?
pushed as much.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But did you hear that TikTok apparently like has like the heat button where like they have people behind the scenes clicking videos that are heat, so they push it and go viral?
Really? Has that been confirmed, or is that like a
I think it's been confirmed. Like released it.
Wow.
Like they released this. Don't quote me on this.
don't quote, but this is interesting.
But this is what I've heard.
Okay.
That there have been employees, maybe not employees, or like people in the background of TikTok who literally would like be like, oh, this could go, like this would go viral. And then they determine. And I think that's true because like, you know, like the thirst trappy like TikTokers,
Yeah.
they always go viral
Always.
because they're so attractive.
Yeah.
And like there has to be somebody in the back being like, yeah, that's gonna go viral.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. 'Cause I feel like it's hard, like, because think about it. When you scroll through TikTok, I don't know many people that scroll through like the new, or like where it's just like fresh, brand new videos, and those are the people that are like curating your algorithm. But normally when you're scrolling through TikTok, it's already like high,
Yeah.
right? Like there's like 10,000 likes on it already, a bunch of views. You're already seeing things that have gotten a ton of traction.
Exactly.
But how has it already gotten a ton of traction by the time you see it?
I know. TikTok is like weird because like I thought about it and like, you know, I don't know if this might sound so bad, but I think there's times whenever you see a video that's like not viral and you just kind of scroll past it. But
For
when
sure.
it's viral, you're like, oh, and you say like to look at it, right? So that's like, I don't know. Something in my mind, like something clicks and doesn't.
I 100% agree with that, because when I'm scrolling through TikTok, if not a ton of people have been interacting with it, I kind of already assume it's not that good of a video. And maybe that's my, my fault for just being like, I don't want to waste my time on something that isn't already confirmed to be great.
Right.
But then that could honestly be not so good, because we're scrolling past things just because
Right.
a ton of people don't agree with it.
Exactly.
But that might be super important or lucrative to us,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm-hmm. And it's just like TikTok, because there's such like a wide variety of topics on there. I don't know, because like there's always those like random videos where I'll see people be like, why aren't you viral yet? And I'm like, that's so true, because of the effort that they put into it.
Right.
The editing, everything looks so good, but it has like 100 likes.
Which is interesting, because it's like, even if you're super consistent and your content is really good, I guess like there is, like they say like there's formulas out there for you to go viral and to make things, but people more than ever now are pouring their heart and souls into social media influencing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Exactly.
Do you think it's because people are trying too hard?
I don't think so, because like at least for some of the things that I've seen on my like explore page and stuff, it's a lot of like cool, like really cool concepts, and I feel like I also question like, why is it not going viral?
Right.
And it might be that factor, because now that I think about it, like TikTok is looking for like authenticity, I guess.
Right.
So like story times, you're like, oh, this is what I did, blah blah blah, more like personal things. But if you're doing like more professional things, it doesn't get as much views.
Right.
Which is weird, but I think maybe that's like how you were saying earlier, the difference between TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah.
Because when I go to the Instagram, it's like poppin'.
Right.
I'm like, this video is amazing. And it has like, it's like viral and everything, but on TikTok, it's not as
Right.
great.
I've seen that a lot, because I mean, you could post your content everywhere. You could post it on YouTube Shorts, you could post it on TikTok, you post it on Instagram, Twitter, wherever it is, and each platform, I feel like, prioritizes different things.
Yes.
And so that's why it's really hard when people are like, post your content everywhere, which I think in theory it's good, because your content is everywhere.
Yeah.
But it's crazy, because it's like, what are you really wanting from it?
Exactly.
You don't want to be posting content on TikTok for the sake of posting it on TikTok, and then it does nothing on TikTok.
Yes.
And maybe you should have been focusing on a different type of content. But I mean, if you're starting a brand and you're starting to do content for that brand, what is your recommendation? Where would you go to publicize your content?
I think depending on like what you're doing, right? I think TikTok is definitely very lucrative, but it's depending on what niche audience you're going for. Because I know that I have tried to post like, again, like I have like random profiles on the side where like I'll post my TikToks, and then I'll post the TikToks on Instagram. But on Instagram, they do nothing, okay? Or I'll get like a hit on Instagram and then not a hit on TikTok. But for my TikTok, what I've noticed is that they'll continually increase in views randomly, and then my Instagram won't. Like it'll just stay put.
Interesting. So TikTok, if you leave it there, it has a potential to kind of like compound interest over time.
Yeah, and I've seen people say to like repost your stuff, because sometimes they'll do like their video twice and the second one will go viral, but the first one won't.
I've heard a lot about that. Like some dude was saying that what gets repeated gets remembered. And so he was like, if you have like 5 pieces of content, repost it every week.
Yeah.
Because if you, and I see this all the time on YouTube Reels especially, there's certain things that I like to see when I scroll through YouTube Reels and I like it. I see that in my session of scrolling. If I do the next day, I see that video again. And sometimes I watch it again. Sometimes I watch half of it. But I remember it.
Yeah.
And every time I see it, I remember it. And I think that's more important than anything else, because if you see something and just like it, scroll past it and never see it again.
Right.
It's kind of like, that's not really building a following. You're not going to get any interaction.
Yeah.
You're not going to get any traction with that. So I think that's a really good strategy, to just keep repeating your content.
Yeah, and I've also heard that like people like consistency, like psychologically, if you're making a video, you should do it in like the same environment, because people will like seeing you in like a similar place and everything, and at the same time. I think it was also like with Instagram, but that was whenever that was like a chronological feed, so people would see you like the same time. But for TikTok, it was like psychologically they would feel comforted. And like they'd be like, oh, I remember this person, and then they'll follow you back or something.
Right.
You know?
Which is interesting because I think even like just for this podcast, sometimes I'm like, I really want to switch it up. And I was talking to Dakota about this earlier. I was like, you know, it would be really cool to have like a car podcast where we just take a drive and then, you know, we're just doing the podcast in the car, or maybe one day we go to a park and do one in the park.
Yeah.
But just keep changing the scenery, or maybe even go to people in their environment and do the podcast there.
Oh, that'd be really cool.
Right? But then there's that factor of comfortability, right? So say people are like, oh, I really like this environment that you do it in.
Yeah.
And then you keep switching it. I guess it's all about what you want at the end of the day,
Right.
but there are factors to, if you want to grow something,
Yeah.
what you have to consider, you know?
I think it'd be good to keep it consistent first, and then start like slowly doing like 1 or 2 episodes. You'd be like, oh, it's a special episode, and then people would be like, oh, it's special. I kind of like it. Like, it's a little different.
Right.
And then if they're like, I want more, they're like, say less.
Oh, you want more?
You want more? Say
Well,
less.
I have more.
Who wants to be a sponsor for the
Sponsor
next
for the
one?
next video. Sanrio is our sponsor for
Oh
today.
my god, please. Be like, Yen, you're gonna love this one. Why? We're going to the Sanrios. I'm coming. I'm flying right now.
And I have all my socks packed.
And they're all in order. We're ready to go.
Every single one.
Oh my god.
How many pairs of Sanrio socks do you have?
I actually don't have that many.
Just 2?
No.
5?
I have like 3.
3?
Because I just bought this.
So we've seen 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so tomorrow I'll wear the 3rd one. I
Okay.
think I brought it.
If you bought all 3 of your Sanrio socks with you when you travel, that says something about you.
Look, can I explain myself for
Go
a
ahead,
second?
please,
They're
please.
Valentine's Day socks,
Okay.
and I can only wear them for so long. Valentine's Day is on Tuesday,
It is true.
so I have to like milk it
Yeah.
right now.
In the window. So do you wear those socks as soon as Walmart starts putting up their Valentine stuff?
Well, I just bought them like a few weeks ago.
Mm.
So I started wearing them when I bought them. I would say
Fair.
The thing is those weren't the only Valentine socks I bought, so
Were not?
they weren't.
Did you buy also other Sanrio Valentine socks?
No,
or
these
just
are the
different?
only Sanrio ones.
Okay.
But I bought like Winnie the Pooh ones.
Mm.
So I wear those often now too.
Do you like Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked the socks. They were really cute. Like, okay, imagine this, okay?
Like paint the scene, paint the picture. I'm imagining.
It's like, I think, is it a crew? What kind of sock am I wearing? Is it a crew sock?
Nope, I don't know.
Okay, it's like a sock that can go up to your ankle.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't know sock terms.
Yeah, me neither. I'm not a sock
It's
fanatic.
white, right?
Yep.
And then it has a lettuce like edge on the top of it.
Okay. Lettuce?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, like the little like
Yeah,
these
yeah,
things?
yeah. Yeah,
Like, where
yeah,
it's like yeah. Okay.
It's like that, but it's not scalloped, it's lettuce.
Scalloped?
Scalloped is just like this. But lettuce is like frilly kind of.
Oh, okay.
You
Like
know
a
what I'm talking about?
snowflake.
No.
No.
It's time to stop!
It's like,
You just
People
like
are
imagine
gonna
me like
think I'm
building
a-
this like nice image in my head and then you just like crushing it.
people people are gonna think that I'm a sock fanatic. The way that I'm describing the sock, I'm just trying to explain why I bought this one sock.
yeah. Okay. Continue.
Okay,
What?
it's a scallop. No, it's a lettuce edge.
Yeah.
Do you know what lettuce edge is?
Apparently I do not. But
It's like I'll show you later. Anyways,
okay.
it's a scalloped edge. It has like a red. I hope this finds the right target audience.
Any sock fanatics out there?
No, Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, Winnie the Pooh.
Valentine's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it has like an embroidered heart on it.
Okay.
It says "Be Mine,"
Okay.
and it's like Winnie the Pooh with like a balloon, because there's like an iconic
Aw,
scene in Winnie the Pooh
yeah.
where he like gets followed by a bee, and there's like a bee on it.
On the balloon?
I think it's no, I think it's like following him or something.
Following him.
Yeah, that's
The
what
bee
it
is
said.
following him
It's somewhere.
over
It
the
has
rainbow.
to. If it says "Be Mine," it has to have a bee on it somewhere.
Yeah, that is true.
So
That would be
there's
silly
a
if it didn't.
bee. It might be like all over the sock or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, sounds like a pretty great sock.
Watch me be combining 3 different socks into
Yeah, these are actually just, I think it's a great sock idea. And then now you're going to see it on the shelves everywhere.
No, please give me some royalties, Disney.
Disney, do you hear that?
Oh my god, is it time already? I'm sorry. I have to check you in.
Yeah.
I feel so rude for doing
No,
this.
don't worry about it. So now we're gonna talk about our sponsors for today. New Jeans is actually, I know, we got New Jeans as a sponsor.
Isn't that crazy?
Unfortunately, they won't let us play any of their music because of their label. But we actually talked to a couple of the members. We don't have any footage either, or any any proof.
Nothing at all.
But I would just say, for your trust in us, do that trust.
Yeah.
They just said like, hey, you could definitely talk about us in your podcast. And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Like that's a great idea. So that's what we have done.
Yes. So New Jeans. If
New
you don't
Jeans.
stand New Jeans, we can't be friends. I'm
No,
sorry.
and that's on a realer note. if you're not like, if you've listened to New Jeans and you're like, no,
I can't. I'm
I
sorry.
don't. I actually I might feel a little bit like upset.
I think I would feel a little like, why? Who do you hate? Like what?
Right, like
who
what
wronged you?
Yeah, because, and it's not even one of those things where I'm like, like we can have difference of opinions, like that is fine, but this is more of a fact. You know what I'm saying? Like this is just, it's just
hard, cold facts. Like there's nothing else that you just can't deny. Like tell me that you listen to OMG or Ditto or Hype Boy or Attention and you didn't like any of those songs.
None of them. You didn't like any of them or any part of them.
Terrible.
You didn't like the dances either. The
Their
dances are cold
so
too. Like
cute. I love their dances.
I don't care what you say. They're great. So
They
that
are.
was the sponsor of this episode. How's your check-in going?
It said 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry, that
Wow.
alarm was really early.
It's fine. It's really okay.
I just didn't know where, because sometimes you put on, you're like, nah, I don't need the alarm.
Yeah, I do that, but that's good that you keep an alarm for that kind of stuff, because if not, that would kind of be tragic.
Yeah.
But actually, this is a great time to just pause, so that way we can reset the camera
So true.
and then come back.
Look at that. I'm just thinking ahead of time. We're
She's
just thinking
thinking.
ahead
She
of time.
actually had watch. Hey Google, how much time is left on our timer?
5 minutes and 41 seconds to go.
It's
like pretty close.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Yeah.
It really is pretty close. So we're gonna go ahead and take our first break right here, and we'll be right back after these messages. All right.
You should put that clip for the New Jeans thing, and I feel like it would go viral. People would be like, yes, they're like, I forgot.
Wait, is there a New
rappers are
Jeans
funny.
clip?
Huh?
There's a New Jeans clip?
No, I'm talking about from this podcast.
Oh.
Never mind. Actually, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. I mean, we could. That is a good idea.
You'll get different fans.
I would love. Wait. Okay. Because if you're a New Jeans fan,
No, you're cool. You'd be
come
cool.
through.
Like
we
amazing.
accept you. Like this
For
is.
sure.
This could be the new community for I could just transform this podcast from Create Yourself
To New Jeans stands.
to New Jeans stands.
I'm so down.
And I mean, even if we have to change the name, like Fresh Denim. We said this last night.
I know.
So don't act.
No, you said this last night. Still, it wasn't me. You know what? It was good idea at the time. It was.
It was true. It was a good idea at the time. And maybe now that I'm looking back at it, I still think it's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, we're gonna create our own dance crew, and we're gonna make our song called LOL.
LOL.
And the choreo might look very similar to OMG because it's very inspired.
Mm-hmm. But instead of this, it'll be... Because you're laughing.
We can never be New Jeans. It's okay. We're just stands.
It's fine.
We just love them.
Just hecka stands, and I think that's the best people to be watching these videos too. So I'm
Honestly,
cool with
true. So true.
But anyways, on to things besides New Jeans. Even though we could talk about New Jeans all day, because this channel might transform into a New Jeans stands podcast channel.
Hey, if
but
so, zoom me in every time.
yeah. So okay, tell me this. I think a lot of people might be really interested in this answer. What, like, if I want to get into content creation or social media marketing, what would be your advice to get into it?
I feel like both of them are a little different. But because like if you're doing content creation, it depends on what you're doing for that. If you want to do like UGC, or if you want to be like your own brand and like make yourself into like a social media person. But I'm also sorry, I think Benji's hair is on my lip.
Oh,
I think I got it.
his hair's just
anyways.
everywhere.
But
We got new food for him, so he'll be fine.
yeah, he's fine. Everything's
Yeah,
fine.
He's good.
Um, yeah, for content creation, I feel like it's a
Yeah.
little different. I think I stumbled upon this job very randomly, and it was like luck of the draw because I've been following them for like years now, and I was like, oh heck yeah, I'll apply, and I got the job. Thankfully,
Wow.
bless.
Nice. You just
Love
like
it.
cold applied to them?
Yeah, I did, and she was like, oh cool, and then I got the job.
Wow.
Yeah, not like that exactly, but you know,
But yeah,
you
went through the
know.
interviews, yada yada
Yeah.
yada, all that good stuff.
But for social media marketing, I think it's just best to try to get an internship as early as you can because basically the way I got into it, it was after the pandemic and I was very like I don't want to just sit here and do nothing. So then I got my first internship. It was unpaid. It's going to be unpaid. Like whatever you do first is going to be unpaid anyways.
Right.
It's for the experience.
Yeah.
And like just kind of I think just mass apply to everything that you can because that's like you're not just putting all your eggs in one basket. You know what I
Right.
mean?
You're yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's the best way to do it because that's what I did. And even though I forgot about like half of the ones that I applied to, because a lot of people also be prepared for failure and like rejection and also just not getting a call back because it'll happen a lot.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Like it's not always going to be great and sunshines.
Sunshine, plural, singular, it's fine.
You know.
They're
Anyways,
both great.
They're both great.
Yeah.
We love it all.
We love it all. Multiple sunshines, just one sunshine could be best.
1 or 5, I don't know. Anyway,
What earth are we really on?
I don't know. Is it even real? That's a different question. That's a different podcast episode.
Yeah.
Sorry. Anyways. But yeah, just like mass apply to internships, and I think one of the things you just have to know how to do is like sell yourself because for some reason I was really good at selling myself in the beginning. I'm okay now, but like at first I think I was really good at it.
What do you mean by like selling yourself?
So for instance, for my first internship, I had no experience under my belt, but like you have to just kind of like get your personality across to the interviewer. Like you don't want to sound so like robotic. Like
Right.
you want to give them personality, like we were
For
talking
sure.
about earlier.
Yeah.
And like you want to tell them I'm open to learning. Like even if you don't have a lot of experience, you are like a quick learner. If this is true, please do not lie that you're a quick learner if you do not learn quickly.
Yeah.
But
It's great perspective.
but like tell them like you're willing to learn and like if it's something that you're just first stepping into, I was like I have always loved social media growing up. And I knew I wanted to be in it ever since I was younger, but I just never knew how, right? And I feel like having this internship would help me broaden my horizons so much and help me get my foot into the door. And
I
like
see.
I like just kind of tell yourself like you can offer a lot because of XYZ, like whatever you're learning. I had a science background, so they were kind of impressed by that. They're like, "Wow, you're like a STEM girly." I was like,
right. You're like,
"I'm a STEM girly."
you already know.
I am.
Okay.
But whether or not that helped, I don't know.
Yeah.
You just gotta fake it till you make it, though.
Yeah, right. But I think that's really good advice for people like who are just getting into interviews and all that stuff. Is just really speaking to your experience and learning how to draw things together, right? Like if you have no experience in social media, but you're able to say, I've always been intrigued by all the stuff that goes on social media. I myself have done a lot of research into it.
Yeah.
Here's what I find really interesting about
Yeah,
the
for
industry.
sure.
Here's some things I want to learn. And, you know, they're like, oh, well, can you talk about a time you did this? You have to be really quick to know how can I draw some of my experiences and relate them?
Exactly.
You know, a lot of people don't look for like the literal exact experience. And if they do, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of people want to see like how well can you put things together that you've learned and say, I might not have done that exact thing,
Right.
but I've done something very similar that have transferable skills.
Exactly.
And that's what they want to see, right?
And that's what I also use, like, my side hobbies. Like, I used to do video editing for fun on the side. And I'd be like, yeah, I would do these passion projects on the side. And, like, it helps me a lot to be focused because I would have to get footage. I would have to sit down and actually edit it and find, like, the video and
Yeah.
everything. They're like, oh, that's so cool. I'm like, yeah, but I'm sorry, you can't see. It sounds like I'm lying when I say that, but it's just genuine because it's like, I was a high school student and I was just filming random, you know what I mean?
Right,
like,
right.
It's nothing crazy.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, well, that's so cool. I'm like, thanks.
Yeah. Oh my God, please don't look at it.
I'm like, please let's not look at
Please.
this online.
But that's actually really cool that you really just say like, hey, look, I have done these types of things before, because I think some people, they underplay themselves a lot. And I think that's something that you really should avoid in interviews is
Yeah.
downplaying your ability continuously, because maybe you don't feel like you're ready, maybe you have that imposter syndrome, but
Right.
you really have to speak with an air of confidence, and also like just like you're proud of yourself for what you've done.
Exactly.
Because no interview wants to take somebody who's like, you know, and they're like,
Oh.
are you good? like you want this job or
fine.
not? It seems like you don't. You gotta be your own hype man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. You have to be your own hype boy by
Hype
New
boy,
Jeans.
New Jeans stand, and that brings us back to our sponsor.
New Jeans, we love you, please.
Please hit us up.
Please.
Please. Oh my god. Anyways.
Just cut that
Yeah.
out. Nobody has to see that.
Yeah. Nobody has to see that.
But if they see it,
But if you're New Jeans stan,
then
that might make you a Create Yourself podcast stan.
so true.
Mm.
So true.
So would you ever consider like doing influencing, or is that something that you have thought about doing eventually?
I think I would, but like I've always like been just scared of it because also there's like, you know, the scary side of like influencing and
Yeah.
stuff. And I know I'm like a big girl now, so like it's like I can do like my own things. But if I move out, there's just so many stories where there's like very like horror stories where people stalk them and stuff that I just feel so
Right.
like terrified to do that. So like I low key want to do it and then just like edit it. But if I edit, I just feel fake. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't want to be unless I like stockpile for 6 months and then post like
Right,
wait,
exactly.
which is plausible, but then it kind of holds you back for 6 months. you
Yeah.
know?
And sometimes when you do that too, like something that you feel like, well, I actually listened to this podcast earlier today. It's like this dude named Rick Rubin. He's like a really huge like creative guru, and is really involved in a lot of really great musical endeavors. But he was saying that as long as you do something that feels really, really good to yourself, like that you really like. So even if you made content for 2 or 3 months, but you love what you've made,
Right.
no matter at what point you put it out, that's your content.
Exactly.
You know, as long as you're not trying to like replicate trends all the time and just kind of ride those waves, because trends, like Dom said this about clothing, but like trends are good to get an understanding of what you may like.
Yeah.
But if you just only try to be trendy and put trends out, you're going to fade away really quick.
Oh, for
You know,
sure.
you're not going to have any originality or authenticity. Nothing's going to truly feel like you. It'll just kind of feel familiar, maybe comfortable.
Yeah.
But it's not going to feel like your own.
Exactly. And I think sorry, I didn't
No,
wanna
go ahead.
cut
No,
you
go
off.
ahead. No.
No, I was just gonna say like I think that's so true because I've seen a lot of like I'll randomly be scrolling and then it's like social media managers who are talking about it, and they're like, don't just be trendy because like that's not gonna help you build a fan base.
Right.
Like they don't know what they're signing up for if they're subscribing to you because they could
Yeah.
just be like, oh, you're very attractive, so maybe they think you're a thirst trap TikToker, but
Yeah.
you're not a thirst
No.
trap TikToker. Like you do makeup or something, which
Right.
is makeup TikToks. Oh my god, transitions, chef's kiss. I love them.
Fire.
And I think that it is important to incorporate transitions that apply to whatever you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, like makeup transitions
Right.
and stuff, that works really well. And then people will be like, oh, makeup tutorial, and that leads to another video and stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, I think what Dom said was right too with like fashion and stuff, in that it's like you want to make it your own at the same time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you can't
Exactly.
just like be exactly right on. I mean, the transition would be like the same, but
Yeah.
like there's something that has to be different that like screams
Right.
you.
Right. Exactly.
And some people do like humorous like transitions and make it like a spin like that. So people will be like, this is like very memorable, and they'll like really like it, but they won't follow you because it's like not you. You know what I mean? It's not
right.
like your
it's
stuff.
not. Yeah. You. And I think like you could always just. I think if you really want to challenge yourself and to start finding what is you, you really just have to like experiment and almost like say if you find a trend, right? Say if the trend is like a certain song and they use a certain transition at a certain point and they take it off and you know you're revealed. Think about like what could I do to this that isn't part of this trend?
Right.
How can I take this to another level?
Right.
And if you can't figure it out, that's the creativity that you can implement to make it different, right?
Right.
Whether it be doing it backwards. You know, maybe you have makeup on first and they're like, what are you doing? And then like you're like, oh, let me just take the makeup off, and you're like, oh shit.
It's
Like, oh my God. What in the world?
that's what you look like. I'm sorry. That's so. I just say that personally because I think it's funny to catfish. I think I want to catfish with my makeup so much.
Yeah.
But my friends are like, you look the exact same, and
Yeah.
that's like the most heartbreaking statement to me.
Because you're like, I
personally.
tried so hard.
Yeah, I'm like, you don't think I look different? Maybe like a little bit.
You're like,
That's not
"Damn,
what I wanted.
I'll go harder next time.
Yeah, like literally, I'm like, you want me to put more? They're like, yeah, maybe.
You're like, just go dumb. Like, actually, just maybe like green
Just all over.
everywhere.
You know?
Everywhere.
It would be good. Maybe yellow for like Minion. Oh.
Get some glasses in there.
I'd really be unrecognizable.
Start changing up your language.
You know? Just eat bananas a lot, you know?
Is that true?
What?
Is that true? Like, the more colorful fruit that you eat, you'll turn different colors?
Why are you asking me this
I don't know,
question?
because I don't even know if I saw
Is that
anywhere.
what you think that's the Minions? Because they only eat bananas, so they're yellow?
But you said it. It's
That's not quite what I meant. I didn't. You know,
You're spreading false information.
I didn't. I
and-
didn't. I was saying that because they have a song about a banana.
They do.
So I was saying I would eat more bananas
Why? Why did you say you would eat more bananas?
because they have a song about bananas.
And they would turn more yellow.
This connection, I'm over here. You're like barely moving it.
And that's the interview tip. You know, that's exactly what you have to do.
It really is. If you have to reach all the way up here, you gotta reach.
You got to reach. Sometimes you just have to reach. You have to make it seem like a natural reach.
Yeah,
Sometimes it might be a little bit too out of your reach, but the important part is that you try,
exactly.
you know?
Yes.
Try reaching. Try connecting things that you've never connected before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, let's do an exercise here. All right, I want you to connect these two things.
Oh no, sorry, I was distracted by New Jeans on the TV.
They're
Sponsor
amazing.
us, New Jeans.
Please sponsor us.
They're performing Hype Boy on the TV.
The choreo is fire.
I'm
I love
stop
this
now.
style too. It's a very like 90s?
Like Y2K vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Their website is so cute too. You
They have a
probably never
website?
met- Yeah, I would say pull it up, but I think you should.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Pull it up later.
Sorry, distracted again by New Jeans. But what was the connecting these two things?
I was
Okay.
hoping you would forget it.
Nope. All right, go ahead and while you reposition. Okay, I want you to connect. Okay, you're now in an interview about content creation.
Okay.
Right, or social media marketing.
This is gonna be really bad. I'm so
And
sorry ahead
this
of
is-
time.
This is a plant company, okay?
Plant?
We're a plant company.
Like plants.
Plants.
Okay.
Yeah, you come to this place and you buy plants.
Okay.
You know, hey, we've you know, we appreciate you applying to this job. You know, we're a plant company called Plant Company.
Oh, nice
and
name.
you know, we obviously sell plants with no pots, just plants.
Okay.
What's your experience with plants?
With plants, I actually got a bonsai tree whenever I was younger, and I
Hmm.
really loved it. It was fun to take care of, but I usually take care of plants with my parents, and so I think that could kind of like be a good market for content creation, like bonding with family and friends, especially like maybe there's people who are still kind of like iffy about going out, you know what I mean, because of like a pandemic and stuff.
Right.
And it's just like a really nice way to spice up either like your house or even your garden. It's a nice way to get fresh air and not stay inside too if you are doing an outdoor garden. And like because I did it with my family, I've always had really good memories with like plants because my dad would always be like, "Look at this beautiful flower I just grew." I'm like, "This is so cute." Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
And it's just a fun time, you know? Like plants are just always vital to our life, obviously.
True.
And I think one way we could spin it is just like having quality time, not only with other people but with ourselves, because like you don't need to be with people to have plants. You know what I mean? You can make your own garden by yourself, or you can do it with other people if you want to. It's just a fun day activity. You get a little workout if you have to like repot and stuff.
Right.
We don't sell pots.
Right.
Um,
Do not sell pots.
do not sell pots. You can have a fun time going out to Target or to wherever to get
True.
a pot plant.
Right.
That's also a market people like to see. Like, come shopping with me
Right.
to
Oh
do
my
this.
god.
Or like just make it a series. Like, oh, I'm starting my own mini garden. And like people would want to come back to see how
To
things
see how
are
you're
growing,
Yeah.
how you're adding or how you're subtracting, how things are going. They want updates, you know?
Yeah, they want to be able to follow a journey.
Exactly. It's a very personal vibe.
Wow. That was
Plants.
I'm not gonna lie. That
Like,
was
are you,
like
like-
one of the best
you're not
answers.
lying?
I know I'm not lying. If I was interviewing you for real,
Does
for real.
any plant company want me?
Yeah, no, honestly, you just use that answer for like a portfolio piece. You like go to plant companies that need marketing and be like, this is my pitch for you guys.
Go to the creative podcast at 37 minutes and 56 seconds and just watch that until 42 minutes and 58 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. And then if you see any New Jeans content while you're scrolling through,
Just listen to their album.
just listen to their album while you are listening to that answer, and you will get the complete picture of who
I am.
she is.
Yes. It's New Jeans, it's plants, and it's family. It's perfect.
That was fantastic.
You think so?
But you see, like, I feel like that's the best thing to do because, like, you related that to a very personal part of your life and then built a story around it.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, like, you gave, like, 2 or 3 examples of an idea. And it was like, wow. And these are things that I, honestly, if I were to watch, I would be highly engaged with.
It's like random, right? You know
Right.
what I mean?
But it makes so much sense because you're right. Like plants really do pull people together because like Sophia, one of my really good friends, she gave me like a propagated plant and that's how I got into propagation.
Oh, I love that.
And like now my pothoses are like going dumb.
He said patos. He knows the plant terms.
I know the plant terms, pothoses.
Where is
Also,
it?
if you're a plant company, hire me. They're in the room with like the sunlight because they like it.
Oh, he knows plants.
I know plants. I look at my plants. I take care of my plants. It's a time for me,
He
myself,
talks to
and
them.
I.
He asks them what they need. It's
And I
perfect.
sell pots.
And he sells pots.
Plural. And that's when the plural matters.
I was like, this could go very wrong, but as long as you have the S, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. I could incriminate myself
There's
here.
no other meaning to this. It literally
None. We literally are just talking about plants and pots.
FBI, open up!
like ceramic pots.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Plural. Maybe plural is the better example. So when you said sunshine and sunshines, I think I prefer sunshines now.
Oh, really?
New jeans.
Oh, you're so
It's a different
right.
definition. It's different altogether.
It does. It makes it a completely different thing.
Wow. Now I'm actually very intrigued in plant companies, and I hope they ask that. And that was just like a fantastic answer, to be honest.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad that I was able to pull something so fast.
Yeah. No.
Because
for
if
real.
not, that would have been. I'm like, Dakota, can you please just edit it, like, to make it like jump,
bro.
like very.
I don't ask you for a lot. I actually don't ask you for
I
anything.
don't. Just
But
please.
I will slide you a $5 bill. Take that
I'll
shit out.
slide it through Nick because I don't think I'm gonna see you. But
And if he doesn't give it to you, that's on y'all. That's y'all's
you
relationship.
you have the
Yeah.
the footage
The
of me
footage
saying.
of saying it, and if it comes out, you're wrong for that. And I'm canceling you.
Do not. I can't say it. We stand-
Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it.
I'm not saying anything.
All right, next question.
What song is
New
it?
Jeans is on again, and
What
they're
song is it? Guess what
killing
song it is.
All right.
Oh, I think I know what song it is.
Is it?
No, now I'm lost. I don't know. I think-
Attention.
that's what I was thinking.
Wait. Okay. Hold on. Let's unmute it real quick.
Oh, yeah! So we are New Jeans stands here.
What is it? Like, this
Like,
is real.
He guessed that with no audio.
No audio, just dance.
Literally, just dance.
Just Dance. Just Dance was a really good game. And honestly, if
If
Just
this
Dance,
was in Just Dance, I would buy it.
stop. Just Dance, you have your next idea.
They
and,
probably already have it in the works, to be honest.
and if you don't, sponsor us and we will do a segment.
Dude.
We actually were going to do a...
We were.
we were going to learn these dances. But one thing at a time. You can't be overly ambitious, and that's also a really good...
If y'all want a part 2.
Yeah, we could do it. Yeah, comment down below if you want a part 2 of us doing the New Jeans dances. And again, this channel could just become a New Jeans Stan
account.
channel. It's really like that.
It really do be like that.
That's what it is.
At this point, however many times we mentioned New Jeans now, If you don't
Quite a
incorporate
few.
New Jeans into your next few podcasts,
Yeah.
Oh.
It's gonna be like
It's gonna be-
who like he just literally didn't say like
you're gonna be, oh my god, oh my god.
every time just throw it in. Hey, and actually Dakota can throw like a little New Jeans counter in the corner, you know, and like just see how many times we've actually said
I'm
New
so
Jeans.
sorry, Dakota, for how many times you're about to say New Jeans.
I'll tell him ahead of time before so that when he does the watch through, he's not like gets to this point, he's like, are you kidding
Damn
me?
it.
I have to go back.
I'm so sorry for
How many times, let's just do a quick guess. How many times do you think we've said New Jeans at this point?
I think like 17.
17.
Yeah, you think more or less?
I think way more.
You think so?
I think 36.
Can I change my answer?
Yeah, you can.
26. That was my initial, but I was like, maybe I don't want to like seem like we're crazy and like put in too many.
87 maybe.
Maybe like 3,000. I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know, something around that
Maybe
range.
like, you know, maybe in the triple digits.
Yeah,
I don't
maybe
know.
triple digits, maybe triple digits. You know, if it
That's
is
100.
that, I know. I didn't think you were including like decimal places or something. When I said New Jean, that was actually like 0.98.
I was kidding. We did not mention New Jeans 100 times.
Or did we?
Or did
Comment
we?
down below, and we'll reveal the final answer.
Wait, but so it's not just like ding ding ding.
I guess it should be like that.
Well, I guess you'll have to watch the whole thing to know.
Yeah, to know how many times. By the end, it might be going up. But by that point that we guessed, I want to see if we're accurate.
I feel like right now, yeah, probably like, what if we have said like 40 times? Wait, like ever since like before, like officially starting to, like whenever it started recording?
Whenever it started recording.
What if it's 40?
I think it actually might be somewhere up there, to be honest with you. Because we did say new, and every time we say New Jeans, we say it
we
2 or
keep
3,
going?
4, 5, 6 times, you know?
New Jeans,
New Jeans. And, you know, people are just like so obsessed with New Jeans. Like every time
oh my
it just,
God.
oh my, you know, and it just pulls you back into it. I mean, look at us. Like, we literally have New Jeans on in the
Like
background
we're not
as
even
we're
kidding.
speaking.
It's for why? I don't, it's for comfort.
Yeah, it really is for comfort. Look, actually, I'm going to show you guys. Just so they can see.
They can see it.
Like,
We stand. They're so cute. Oh, them.
okay, hopefully that's the good angle.
Their stage outfits probably mean they're about to perform Ditto.
You think so?
I don't know.
Yeah, probably so.
I think you think so?
Yeah,
Do you know?
I don't know.
Wait, are you like dead ass like a hardcore stan?
I mean, I would say like on a scale of 3, like three being like super hardcore, one being like
a 2.
I would say probably like a 3. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Probably like a 2.75. I think like I'm slowly becoming more and more as time goes on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I listen to them on the regular, but now I think once I learn the dances, I will hit that next level. This whole podcast has been about New Jeans, but honestly, it's been fantastic.
I think Hui called me. Should I call him back?
Yeah, go ahead and call him back, and we're gonna take a quick break.
Has it been 30 minutes?
Hey Google, how much time is left on the timer?
You've got 1 minute and
Oh!
We're just really good at this.
It's just natural, to be honest.
It's Ditto.
It's ditto.
So we just know it.
Yeah, we just know. Okay, we'll take a quick break, and then we'll
this?
bring our last segment back. And yeah, see you guys in a second. We're back. Welcome everybody. Oh, I mean, I guess not welcome. Like you've been here. I don't know what the commercial will look like.
I also don't because I keep my L in, but I'm sorry. It's supposed to be for.
Oh, that's it right there. Yeah, funny story. So we're at Qua's birthday party yesterday, and she did that, and I had no idea what she was telling me to do. She was like, make the O, and I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, make the O, and I was like,
But he was making it by himself. He was like, oh, and I was like, it was supposed to be like, you know how people do like the hearts?
yeah, but she wanted to do the O like this, but how am I supposed to know that? Like she did that, and she was like, make the O, and I was like that doesn't look like that makes anything like LCO. Like I was so confused. But we figured it out.
Unclear.
Instructions unclear, but you
But
know,
it's
we figured it
just
out. Used
working
critical
out.
thinking skills, and eventually, after a minute and a half, we figured it out.
Exactly. We're working out like the little tweaks of it.
Yeah, you know,
For-
it's everything is just really a work in progress.
Exactly. For fresh denim.
But yeah. So okay. So other questions that I wanted to ask you that I was super intrigued with, in terms
I can
of
answer.
social media marketing. So wait, what is your title?
I'm a social media content creator.
Social media content creator. Okay. If I'm doing something and I want to get into that, right? What kind of things should I prepare for? Like, should I have started making videos to show the company? Or like, what was on your resume or things that got you the interview?
That's a great question. I will reiterate that this was really a lucky
Mm-hmm,
thing because I actually didn't have a portfolio or anything at the time. I only had like 2 internships underneath my belt
Mm-hmm.
at the time, and my first one was like I guess I can say it. I was an account manager, and then I was an actual like social media and copywriting intern. Yeah.
Okay.
And they really liked that on my resume, so they're like, that's really interesting. And I think I sent her a cover letter of some sorts, and I think that's what it was. But
a
if
cover
you're
letter?
getting into it, honestly, if people ask for portfolio, just like use whatever you have right now. If you're getting into beauty, for instance, just use whatever makeup you have. Do like swatch videos, do like product shots, and show them like your range and everything. And there's like a lot of people on TikTok who have different videos on how you can like spice up your portfolio and everything. But I feel like because I also have like a design minor, I was kind of like, oh, I took this class that kind of helped with understanding like iteration and all of that kind of thing. That's very important whenever you're in the creative
Right.
process. So just kind of pulling from whatever experiences you have, honestly, like we were talking about earlier,
Right.
and just being like, this is how it can help towards this and that and that. Because
Okay.
honestly, they might not even think of what you're thinking of.
Right.
And then they'll be like, whoa, that's so good.
Yeah.
Also, have good questions prepared.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that. That is one of the most important things that people don't do. And I like whenever, so my previous job was recruitment, and tech recruitment. So I'd walk candidates through interview processes. I always tell them, prepare some good questions that are relevant to the company.
Right.
And then make you seem that you're actually interested and
Yes.
engaged in what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so many times you would get back from the interviewer and they'd say, yeah, the person was cool. When it came to the question portion, they didn't really have any questions. And if you were going to say, I really don't have any questions, that's completely false. Like,
yeah.
make a question up. Like,
Yeah, for
you have
sure.
to be curious about something of the company. Otherwise, they feel like, well, if you know everything already, like, this job isn't for you because
Right.
there's no gaps that we can fill for you. You know? So what is like some questions that you asked?
For my first internship, like, okay, so a lot of people on TikTok also talk about good questions and stuff. So I think that you should scour there if you're trying to look for some. So I don't know how overused these are anymore because it was found on TikTok. But one of the ones that sorry, it's like a party scene on TV.
No, you're
But
not
one of the
lying.
ones that I tend to ask is like, if you were in my position and you were my age and looking for a job, what would be your advice to like your however old you are self? And then they'd be like, wow, that's a great question. And they'd be like, because it leaves them to think a little too.
Yeah.
Because it's not directly about the company or anything, but it's about their personal experience.
Yeah.
And that kind of sticks with them because like, oh, you want to know something personal about me.
Bro, this is why you be getting the jobs because you have like these strategies and skills are so great. I was even telling Jill that when she was interviewing, I was like, make sure you ask personal questions to the interviewer, right? Like if the interviewer is like, yeah, we have a ton of company parties that we do, or we have some fundraising events that we host, ask them like, hey, which one was your favorite one to participate in? And it draws that personal connection to them,
Right.
which they've shared something personal with you. And in turn, that makes you feel closer.
Yeah.
So instead of just being like very like business oriented where you
Right.
don't peek into anybody, that's not how the world works anymore.
Exactly.
People stay away from those types of people because they're
Yeah.
like, oh, they just don't want to be a part of this. They just want to be in and out.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for a company like that, there are companies like that out there.
sure.
But if you're getting into the creative realm, obviously, you're probably not wanting one of those companies.
And I think that's why I was very fortunate to like seek internships at the time that I did and land the one that I actually got, because after going through like so many interview processes, I've kind of understood better like how to be more personable. Is that the right word?
Personable.
Yeah. In interviews, because like whenever you're in the creative field, to me personally, I feel like it's a little less high stress, I guess, than like being like a corporate, like, you know, like uptight, not uptight, but like, you know, business is business. And like when I have my interviews, I talk to them like a person, like how we talk about, like just like a normal person. Because I know after one of my interviews with a job that or an internship that I had before, she was like, it was just really easy to talk to you. Like it was like we were just having a conversation and catching up and not like having an interview. And I was like, I appreciate that. And I really like that too, because it makes me feel less pressure to do it.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just like really important to understand that too, because if you want to show the company something, obviously like it's hard with your resume when it's hard to like not be able to talk to them directly. But when you are able to talk to them, show as much of yourself as you can that would help you land that role.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And like asking these questions too would help you be like, I'm not just interested in this company, I'm interested in you as a person.
Yeah.
Because you might be working with them in the future or just having them cross paths with you.
That's so important. That is so important to like really build that relationship, and it shows how you build relationships. And that is a huge part of getting a job. And I always give this advice to people who say that they're not good at interviews or they get uncomfortable. I was like, one, right, treat it like a conversation. Because if you can because when you think about it, you're being interviewed for the role, but you're also interviewing them.
Right.
Right? So that's a conversation. It's two ways.
Exactly.
But when you view it as you're the person in the hot seat and you're being grilled, it will come across as that.
Yeah.
So you want to make it conversational, ask questions, be interested, act like you're going on a date in a way, right? And then I think the other thing is when people are like, well, I'm not like super good at one-on-one conversations, practice.
Right.
Like practice with your friends, practice with your parents, like be like, hey, can I have like almost just a conversation with you where we go back and forth? And I think it's super important to do that, especially leading up to interviews. I tell people, if you have an interview on Friday, have one good conversation every day that week.
That's really good advice.
And that way you can get into the mode of talking to people, because nowadays, right, if you're working remote, if maybe you live by yourself, or you don't have many chances to have like good, deep conversations, like an interview.
If it's just you and your plants.
Right.
No shame. No
Come
shame.
on. And so true. Plant companies. Come on. But yeah, I mean, like there's so many good things to do out there.
Right.
But you really have to prep yourself for that kind of stuff.
Exactly, for sure. And like me personally, if you're the type of person who's like me, who you don't want to like talk to people like that, even though you have to, I would just talk like dead ass. Like I would talk like if I was like on a podcast basically.
Yeah,
or if I was like just out loud to myself. And it seems stupid, but like it helps you to like get over the thought of like this is stupid.
Yes.
Because this is what you're gonna have to say anyways. You can at least that way you can also like rehearse the script by yourself too, and it'll feel more natural instead of you being like robotic and like I'm this.
Right.
You know.
You don't even know what to say because it's all been in your head. You know, and that I do that like every time I shower. I'd be like getting into like
my God, yes.
I'd be getting into a mode where I'm like put myself in an interview and I'm like, oh yeah, so tell you a little bit about myself. Where would you like for me to start? Like, would you like for me to start like more professional? Would you like to know me more personally? I just want to know how much of myself I should share with you.
Exactly.
You know? And that then creates a conversation. And so you're not just like, I have to keep guessing what they want.
Right.
Ask.
Yes. And also this would help you if you're like an anxious person like me, it helps you kind of plan it. Because obviously they're going to throw you curveballs.
Right.
But for the most part, you'll be prepared. And even with those curveballs, they'll probably be like, oh, this is the curveball question anyways.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And something like a really good tip is if you get thrown a curveball question and you don't know the answer and it's taking you a second to think about it, I always say this, wow, that's a really great question. Like, can I have a second to think about that? Because I really love that question. And they'll be like, oh yeah, you know, da, 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 da. And then now you have time to say, okay, so if I can answer that question the best I can right now, I would probably say, and by that time you've had enough time to kind of think, but just get into the mode of just being honest.
Right.
Because what you don't want to do is, here's a curveball question. Oh yeah, so the time
he's pointing me out.
But yeah, like just be honest with the interviewer.
No, for sure.
And it'll just go so much smoother because at the end of the day, we're all human beings. And if your interviewer is treating you like shit,
then that's a sign. Like,
That's a sign.
You should probably just be like, this is over.
Right.
Like, still be cordial with it, but like once it's over, just be like, cut your losses, man.
yeah,
Like, that's it.
exactly. You don't have to take a job just because you don't have anything out there. It's much worse working somewhere that you hate
Yeah.
than working. I mean, just take your time.
Exactly.
Know your value, know what you want, be clear-minded with that, and then you will be able to seek what you want.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like this job that I'm at currently landed in my lap. Like, I had lost my other internship, and then I was looking for jobs, and I was like just getting rejected. And then I was thinking about going to do something else, but that field wasn't like that great. And then I stumbled upon this job, and I was like, whoa, crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But also to go back to the point of the being honest with the question thing, you could also ask to circle back to that question.
Ooh.
Because I have had that happen where I'm like, can we get to that later? But the thing is, the interview would be like so long already that they'd be like, okay, well, we couldn't get to the last question, but it's okay. Or they'll forget about that question. It doesn't work all the time. And that's probably like, but like, it's just something to think about.
Right. Like, I mean, right. You have these little things that you're like, okay, if I really just cannot answer this question and I'm going to take too long here, it's like a test, just say like, you done great. And don't beat yourself up about it. You done great on the 5-6 questions prior. You get stumped on one question. You say, can we circle back around to that? I don't really have the best answer right now.
Right.
And I want to give you a better answer, even if that's after the interview. And what is someone going to say? No.
Right.
Answer the question now.
If they say no, then that's also an indication of like, maybe you don't want to be there. You know what I mean? Maybe
you're
they're
like,
a little.
shoot.
You're like, oh, okay. Plants.
Plants, new jeans. If you're new jeans, right?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. And they're like, yeah, okay, yeah. You're for this job,
Yeah.
When in doubt, new jeans it out.
Exactly.
Come on, it's
Just
pretty easy.
dance out of the thing and then just that's it.
Yeah, that's it. One other question I wanted to ask you. As you're building your career in social media and in content creation and marketing, what is the path? Like, where do you see yourself? Because I'm sure people will ask that, and with social media, it's been around for a while, but it's now becoming a career path for people.
Right.
Where do you see yourself with going into social media?
That's a good question because I will say I have heard that there might be like, so right now what's trending on TikTok is like defluencing, and it's like, because now it's like a lot of, oh, this product's going viral and everybody sells it out.
Right.
But like defluencing is like, please don't buy this. Like, it's actually a very not good product. And like, you don't need to spend your money on this basically. And so that's what is slowly becoming more prevalent on TikTok. But the thing that I heard more was that with iPad kids growing up, they might have a greater chance of stepping away from social media because they've grown up like on their screens the whole time on YouTube and then eventually TikTok and stuff. So it's kind of scary to be like, I'm going to do social media because if this does happen, then that's just going to tank everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because Gen Z will become like how millennials are. And then, what are they now? Gen X?
Gen something.
Gen X, whatever. Whoever the next, they'll just be like, that's so chuggy. And then it's like, what? But they wouldn't say chuggy because chuggy's chuggy at the time,
Yeah.
So where I plan to be, I hope that I'll eventually be able to like maybe be like a creative director or just do more with like outreach in social media.
Right.
But I'm not really sure yet because the way that I also talk when I try to interview for positions is that I'm trying to see as many sides of social media as I can because I don't want to be not stuck per se, but in a position where I don't love it and you can clearly see it on my face.
Right.
So like for my first internship, I was like very much behind the scenes and like connecting influencers with brands for their specific campaigns and stuff. And then my second one, I was a social media manager basically. So it was like a different side of it too. And then now I'm content creation. And I don't know if there's there's probably like a lot more different aspects to it. And so I'm trying to see if I can branch out into as many as I can.
Right. Diversify yourself.
Exactly. But it's kind of hard because they're like, well, you don't have experience. And I'm like, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I'm looking for the experience.
You know what I mean? I'm trying
to have
to
experience.
It's not the right experience that you want, but it's there.
But it could be.
It could be.
It could be.
It could be there.
You could be it for me.
You could be the one. You know what I'm
could be the
saying?
one.
I could say it to them. But yeah, I don't really know where it's going to be in the future.
Yeah.
But something like a creative director and stuff would be cool.
Yeah. but that's I think a great answer, you know, because you don't know how social media is going to evolve, but honestly, creative directing and being into marketing,
Right.
all that stuff, they're very transferable skills. No matter what, businesses are always going to need people to market.
Exactly.
They're always going to need people to connect the dots.
Yes.
And technology is not going to go anywhere.
Right.
Now, there might be some steps back or some pivots that happen, but it's kind of like coding. Like with me coding right now, like sometimes you see things like ChatGPT or things that could maybe not take the places of developers, but could make it substantially, you know, the market a lot smaller
Right.
for the need. But those skills that you create and have, you can always use them to pivot. So, I mean, creative directors have been around forever.
Right.
So those things that you're all doing, like you're understanding the business, what makes a product a good product, how people look at things.
Exactly.
And those skills can make you very valuable to businesses later on.
Exactly. Yeah, and like I got a degree in neuroscience, and I feel like people think that it's like they're like, wow, you can apply it so much to marketing. But I think marketing things also get deterred by me being a STEM person because I'm not like actually like a business major and stuff.
Right.
But I'm like, I know psychology kind of.
I know about the brain.
I know how your brain works and the synapses and all of that. If that's what you want.
Just throw that out there in an interview. It's like, what draws you in? Well, according to your brain right now, when you scroll on social media, the
reason why
prefrontal cortex.
I wore blue today was to make you feel calm. Yeah.
So just know that.
Just know that I'm already marketing myself like
based
this.
on your brain.
Yeah.
I know what goes on in your brain.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I can name some of the locations in your brain. So
Yeah, the hippocampus, very familiar.
yeah, the temporal lobe, the occipital lobe.
The mitochondria.
Yeah.
As you can
powerhouse
tell, I
of
was
the
the business
cell?
major, so you know.
Hey, you know it's the powerhouse of the cell.
It is the powerhouse of the cell. I know that for sure.
That's for sure.
That's been put into my head. Now, if that ever becomes false,
That
I
would
will
be
feel very
crazy.
lied to.
I don't think it's false. Actually, I've heard some. You know, I don't know. I'm not gonna bring up science like this.
Yeah.
Y'all don't want to listen about science on
Yeah.
the creature.
And unless you do, then that will be in our part 2.
If you really want me to talk about science, I can. But if you want,
I mean, neuroscience is kind of interesting, to be honest.
depending on the topic, yes.
Okay.
I agree. Yeah.
I agree with you agreeing to that
Okay. Thank you.
statement.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
That was great.
Yeah. thank you.
Fantastic.
Amazing.
Amazing.
It's so true.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a good place to leave it off on. If you guys want a part 2, we can talk about new genes. We can talk about neuroscience. We can talk about
neuroscience, choreography,
so many plants,
plants,
plural versus singular,
pot versus pots,
pot versus pots.
one pot versus two pots.
What were you thinking? The silence says it all.
Wait, were you asking me that?
No, I was asking, you know.
Oh, I was like, I hope this is a question to the audience and not to me.
And if it's not,
Good luck, Charlie.
uh,
Just
yeah,
zoom in.
that's it. All right, well, cool. Yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
There's gonna be a clip of what I'm gonna give Nick, and it's just
Yeah.
not here right now.
It's not here right now, but it shall be right after this. But hey, thanks for watching. And like always, love yourself, be yourself, create yourself. Peace.
What do you do now?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And
That's
then
it?
it'll, you know, like,
No, wait, he should do an explosion in the
oh.
Oh, that's real good.